The Lord be with you.
And with your spirit.
A reading from the Holy Gospel according to John.
Glory to you, O Lord.
Pilate said to Jesus, "Are you the king of the Jews?" Jesus answered, "Do you say this on your own, or have others told you about me?" Pilate answered, "I am not a Jew, am I? Your own nation and the chief priest handed you over to me. What have you done?" Jesus answered, "My kingdom does not belong to this world. If my kingdom did belong to this world, my attendants would be fighting to keep me from being handed over to the Jews. But as it is, my kingdom is not here." So Pilate said to him, "Then you are a king." Jesus answered, "You say I am a king. For this I was born, and for this I came into the world, to testify to the truth. Everyone who belongs to the truth listens to my voice." The Gospel of the Lord. Growing up, my sister and I always loved to play trivia games. We would test each other on general knowledge, and we're both very competitive, so we would study and try to get all the answers right. And I was visiting her recently, and we realized, well, we had already played every trivia game that we have. Every question's been asked, and we knew all the answers, so what are we to do now? Well, I had this idea. I said, I wonder if you can go to ChatGPT, the artificial intelligence tool. Maybe it will come up with some new trivia questions for you. And sure enough, it can. Just ask it to come up with trivia on any topic you want, and boom, there it is, all the questions for you. It's amazing. If you ask me, that's well worth the $1 trillion investment we're making in generative AI so that I can play a better trivia game. And even better than that, do you know that at least 90% of the answers that it gives are correct? Sure, there's about 10% that are laughably wrong, but if you know trivia, you can kind of figure it out. Well, I have a trivia question for all of you today. We're going to play a little trivia game here, Catholic trivia. Who is the only human being, other than Jesus and Mary, who is named in the Creed? Who is the only human being, other than Jesus and Mary, who is named in the Creed? Pontius Pilate. You got it. Good. 1 point. You win. 1 point for you. No, exactly. Pontius Pilate. Isn't that interesting? The only human being, other than Jesus and Mary, that's named every Sunday at Mass is someone that I would consider kind of like a great villain of the gospel story. Someone I think showed great cowardice by allowing someone that he knew was innocent to be put to death. Now, how did that happen? How did we end up with Pontius Pilate in the middle of the definitive answer that we Catholics give to all the big questions of life? Well, actually, there are different interpretations of the role of Pontius Pilate. In fact, in some corners of Christianity, most notably the Ethiopian Catholic Church, Ethiopian Church, and the Coptic Church, Pontius Pilate is considered a saint. And if you ask me, that's kind of laughably wrong. How can Pontius Pilate be a saint? He was wrong about so many things. But I don't know, if you think about it, I guess Pontius Pilate did kind of try to defend the innocence of Jesus, and he did allow for his disciples to provide lovingly a tomb for him after he was crucified. So he did do some good things, but I don't know that he's a saint. To me, that just seems wrong. But I don't know, maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I need to learn more about it. And so I did. I went to ChatGPT and I asked it for questions, trivia questions about Pontius Pilate so I could learn more in preparation for the homily. And I guarantee you at least 90% of these answers are correct. Question: who was Pontius Pilate? Answer: Pontius Pilate was the Roman governor of Judea from approximately 26 to 36 AD, best known for presiding over the trial of Jesus Christ. Question: which Roman emperor did Pontius Pilate serve under during his time as governor? 2 points if you get that. Anyone? Tiberius Caesar. Tiberius Caesar. Question: where was Pontius Pilate's governing seat located? Answer: Pilate's seat of governance was the city of Caesarea Maritima, though he was in Jerusalem during significant events related to Jesus' trial. Well, I'm pretty good at trivia. I knew some of those answers, but I started learning all these new things. Question: what significant artifact related to Pilate was discovered in 1961? Answer: the Pilate Stone, a limestone block with an inscription mentioning Pontius Pilate was discovered in Caesarea Maritima. It confirmed Pilate's historical existence and his role as governor. Question: which historical source outside the Bible mentions Pontius Pilate's role in the crucifixion of Jesus? Answer: the Roman historian Tacitus mentions Pilate's involvement in Jesus' execution in his Annals, written about 116 AD. Well, I think Pontius Pilate would have loved this type of trivia game all about himself. And I think Jesus would have loved a trivia game like this, because when we look at the gospel today, that's kind of what Pontius Pilate and Jesus seem to be doing. They're playing a type of trivia game. They keep asking each other question after question, though it's not quite clear they ever come to an answer, and it's not quite clear who wins. Well, look at the reading again. Pontius Pilate asked the first question. Question: are you the king of the Jews? Well, Jesus responds with another question. Do you say this on your own, or have others told you about me? And Pilate has another question. I am not a Jew, am I? Your own people have handed you over. What have you done? Are these two opponents just going to go back and forth with question after question until one of them wins? Is either one of them ever going to give an answer to these questions? I'm not sure they are. Jesus was not very good at answering questions. Did Jesus ever in the Gospels straightforwardly answer a question that's posed to him? And is Pilate going to answer the questions? And Pilate kind of seems to not even be sure there is an answer to the questions. He leaves the conversation with Jesus with one last haunting question. What is truth? Is there even truth? Is there a true answer to all these questions I'm asking? Or is it all just up for grabs? Endless questions with no answers can be infuriating. But not answering a question can sometimes be the wisest thing that you can do. Jesus could have given all the right answers. He's all knowledgeable after all. He has all the knowledge. He could have won any trivia game you posed to him. And he could have won any battle with anybody. He's all powerful. He says that he says, do you not know that I could ask my Father and he would send 12 legions of angels to defend me? I can win any contest you put in front of me. But Jesus doesn't choose that path. He doesn't choose the path of domination, the path that other kings of this earth always choose. He chooses a different path. He chooses the path of humility, the path of love, the path of sacrifice, the path he chooses on the cross. That's the way to real truth and real love, Jesus says. And we can choose that path as well. In fact, I think sometimes we should. We should not really try to dominate either in the same way. For example, let's say you're at Thanksgiving dinner this coming Thursday, and all of a sudden a question of politics or a question of religion comes up. Now, you can try to dominate that contest. Oh, I'm going to win this trivia game that's just begun. I have the right answer. Here it is, Cousin Joe. And, you might win that game, or you might have a pumpkin pie thrown in your face. I mean, it's hard to say. No, sometimes the better way to do it is to do what Jesus did. Answer a question with another question. Like wise Socrates, who always asks more and more questions of the person questioning him until the truth is drawn out of all of them, because the truth is in us. Ask questions. That's what Jesus did in the Gospels all the time. Think of all the questions he asks. What are you looking for? Does anyone here condemn you? Why are you so afraid? Why do you doubt? Who of you, by worrying, can add a single hour to your life? Do you believe that I am able to do this? Do you want to get well? Are you able to drink the cup that I drink? Why do you call me good? Do you not yet understand? Who do you say that I am? If we can answer those types of questions, Jesus knows, we are well on our way to discovering the truth of life. And sorry, but ChatGPT can't answer those types of questions, because what's needed here isn't just knowledge for the sake of knowledge that's just pure IQ power that can answer any fact. No, what's needed here is wisdom. Wisdom is needed here, and it's not clear. That's the one thing it's not clear you can teach a machine. Wisdom comes from a humble human heart that's open to the truth, that's open to a conversation with another person who says, you know what, I don't know if I have the right answer. I'm right maybe 90% or 50% of the time, but sometimes I'm wrong. Maybe I need to talk and learn more, and together we can come to greater truth. Maybe I don't have the whole truth yet. Maybe there's more of the truth yet to discover, and I can discover it through a conversation with you. The truth is that truth only comes through love. I can have all knowledge and have all the answers, but if I don't have love, I am nothing. You have to remain open in love to another person in order to find the truth. And you have to remain open to the one who is love, to the one who is the way, the truth, and the life. Fortunately, Pilate had that person right in front of him, whether he knew it or not. And Jesus does answer one question that Pilate has. Are you a king? And Jesus answers, you say I am a king. How's that for a cryptic answer? My kingdom is not of this world. Those who hear my voice belong to my kingdom. Those who belong to the truth belong to my kingdom. Those who are trying to listen for the voice of truth in a conversation around the world around me, in my own conscience, my own being, there's the truth. Do I listen to Jesus' voice there? That's where the kingdom of God is. Jesus shows us that we don't have to dominate every game. Yes, he's a king, but his kingdom doesn't belong to this world. The path to true wisdom is that different way. It's that path of humility, that path of love, the path that's not afraid to keep asking hard questions right until the end, like Jesus does. My God, why have you abandoned me? I don't know if Pontius Pilate is a saint, but in the end, he kept asking questions. Maybe even after he seemed to despair of ever knowing the truth. I don't know. He seems like he keeps wondering, who is this man that I just condemned to death? And I don't know how it all shakes out. Maybe he repents of his cowardice at some point. Maybe he begins to realize that the whole way I've built my life on the power of Rome and all these great earthly kings, that was laughably wrong. Because the one who is crucified on the cross, he is more powerful than any Caesar. I don't know how it all goes with Pilate, but I do hope he's a saint. And I do hope that he ended up realizing who Jesus was. I think he did. Because in the end, Pilate is the only one, other than Jesus and Mary, mentioned in our creed. And he's the one that in the end gives the truest answer to Jesus' most important question. Who do you say that I am? It's Pilate that gives us the answer. I know the right answer, he says. I'm going to write it down for all to see. It's written above every cross. It's Pilate's answer. This is Jesus of Nazareth, the King of the Jews.